So guys, the game is finally here. Football Manager 2023 has literally just come out. It is now 36 minutes past 6. The game dropped at 6, so we pretty much got it right away. And this is going to be episode 1 of the Leipzig beta save. So we're going to take some time to create the actual manager. Obviously, I'll cut back and forth as we make the manager because we want to get as much gameplay in the first episode. So for you guys that haven't got it yet, can see what the game's actually like. So we're going to have a little look at the actual customization of the manager because obviously this is quite a new part of the game, so you guys can get a good glimpse here and see exactly what's going on. Now, I'm not going to have any of this flashy stuff going on, but obviously it's a lot better in terms of just like how the menus look now. Obviously, you've got a good selection here. You go into the head and it's a lot more detailed. For me personally, what we're going to do is literally just change the hairstyle, to be honest. And then when we do the live stream, we're going to take a bit more time to edit the manager and, you know, just customize how he looks. But I'll pick a hairstyle. We'll go with something pretty normal. Pretty something, you know, suitable. Something like that isn't too bad, to be fair. That looks all right to me. We'll go, is that shaves? We'll go with that. That's quite a nice one. Let's go with that. We'll get a bit of facial hair as well. Oh, that's a bit too much. No, we'll rock with it. Let's rock with it. We'll go with that. And as you can see here, oh, I've seen that. The jacket. Now, we can obviously... There's a big, this is what we want. This is the one thing I want to be playing about with. It's because obviously it's a new feature. The big trench coat, obviously Arsene Wenger style. We're going to get a watch on, which you can't even see, obviously, with this. Oh, it can't be used. That's good because, you know, what's the point in having a watch if you can't see it, I guess. But I'm really excited to get into this. And like I said, this is going to be, it looks so strange seeing a guy in a trench coat here. But this is going to be the first save I've actually done. And because it is obviously the beta as well, we've only got the default options. So there's going to be no face packs. There's going to be none of this, none of that. So we are obviously going to be, we do not want to start as them. Can I pick who I want to? This is good. Go to Germany, and we are going to go with RB Leipzig, which is a team which I have been wanting to use for absolutely ages because I played with them in Football Manager 2022, but playing with them this early on is really special. So let's set this up and let's get into the save. So just to make things clear, we're preventing the use of in-game editor. We do not cheat around here. Do not add key staff as well. And we've added a large database in some of the top leagues. Obviously, this is only a beta save, so don't take any of this too seriously. But this is a perfect way for us to get into the game right away. And right off the bat, I'm seeing this is loading quicker, which is always good to see. But I'm just really excited to get some games under my belt. Obviously, we've got to make a tactic and things like that, which we will be going over. And sorry, and if this tactic does do well, then I will be releasing a video on this tactic as well. So I'm not sure how we're going to play with Leipzig in terms of a style. Probably something quite narrow because they don't have the best wingers. So we have taken on the challenge at Leipzig. Obviously, as you are aware, I have mentioned before. Now, this is the team they currently have. So they do play wingers. Obviously, we're not going to have all the face packs, all the faces at this stage of the game. But that's completely fine because I just want to play a new Football Manager. So we can actually play wingers, but obviously the quality isn't the best. Obviously, Werner's a great player, but Campbell's not quite, in my opinion, the player you really want to be seeing on the wing. Some of this, I actually went a bit too quick there. So some of the stuff they want us to do then, play high tempo press and football, that is a bit of me. That play attack and football as well, we can certainly do that. Don't sign players over the age of 28, which is very reasonable actually. Sign players under the age of 21 for the first team, a bit more challenging. Work within a wage budget, something I definitely need to work on. Qualify for the Champions League. I think that's doable. That's preferred though, that one. Challenge for the Pokal, preferred. Nothing too serious in terms of what they actually expect from us. And obviously we're seeing a little bit about the culture here. Now, this stuff we are going to pretty much leave as it is for now because we do want to get into this. We are going to do the conferences and all of this. And this is going to be the RB Leipzig beta save. Now, this has been a long time coming. Honestly, Football Manager is a great game, but you still, although it's based around the same thing, obviously it's very similar. Just the new menus, there's a new feel. Every single year, it's always exciting leading up to this beta time. And I am really excited to get started. I mean, even this looks so much better. It might just be I'm hyping everything up, but I'm really a big fan of this. And this, again, this is going to be a little bit of a look into, obviously, a little bit about the supporter profile. So we've got 6% hardcore. Core is around 22%, 22% family members, fair weather 20, corporate 3%, and casual 27%. So not too many hardcores, which, you know, we do want to work on a little bit. Quite good for family though, which is always a nice thing to see. So that's not too bad at all. And obviously we've seen all this, we discussed this before, so we can actually accept the current vision and we can carry on. Hopefully we can create a tactic. So this here is something I'm not gonna run through everything because obviously it's gonna take a while. But let's create a tactic now. And let's go out with this and let's just see how it looks like. So if we confirm this then. So if I'm right in saying a lot of this has changed. So in my opinion, like this stuff is really, really good. Obviously we're used to seeing this. I don't think there's anything new on this screen necessarily. I don't think there is anything actually new on this screen. In transition, it's exactly the same as well. But this is where things have changed. Obviously, you have got the step up more, drop off more, trap inside, trap outside. Cross engagement as well. There's quite a bit of changing going on there. And obviously we can pick between all of these styles and it is going to be quite a high pressing system. But it's going to be a narrow system, I think, personally. So I'm going to come back to you once we've made a tactic and then we can go over the entire thing and see how it performs because we have got to set up player roles, etc, etc. Because this is a brand new game, I am purely going to go based off a tactic that I know works well in Football Manager 2022, which is probably going to be the 4-1-2-1-2 diamond. So we're going to set that up and I'll come back to you once it is done. So we're going to do the player roles as we sort of talk now. And this is the system I've gone for. It's going to be the 4-4-2 diamond narrow, obviously a system which I did say I was probably going to play. And these are the positions I'm going to start with at least. I might, however, go for 2 advanced forwards depending on this. But for me, this is quite a reserved... It's not going to be the most attacking style, but I want to start off safe, you know. I don't want to go out and start getting thumped every game. So we're going to start with obviously a sweeper keeper, 2 wing backs, ball playing defender, a central defender, defensive midfielder, box to box, a Roman playmaker, an attacking midfielder. Actually, I'm going to change to an advanced playmaker, and we're going to have a deep line forward and an advanced forward. Obviously, we don't know what's overpowered and what's not. As we, you know, this is literally the first day of the beta being dropped. So we're going to do the player roles now as we sort of talk through it. And then if this does work, you guys can copy it, I guess. So we're going to keep this as it is for the keeper. Now for the fullbacks, we do want a little bit of attack and presence. So we're going to go with get further forward, run wide with the ball. Aim the crosses at the centre. We have got 2 strikers at the end of the day. I'm not going to tell them to specifically stay wider or sit narrower because I don't want to go too much with that. And I don't really want to tell them to cross more or less. So we're going to leave it quite basic because I'm a big believer of when this game first comes out, whatever Football Manager it is, you should start off with basic instructions and then you tweak it as you go. Obviously, we probably are going to play the friendlies to get used to the game and things like that. We'll show the first friendly, then I'll probably not show the rest and we can get into the actual big games. But for me, the big thing about this is you do want to go in quite reserved because you don't want to, you know, go in too hot-headed, end up, you know, getting thumped by lots of goals, get annoyed and stuff like that. So we are going to be playing quite a basic style. I'm just looking at these as we go along and everything seems quite good, quite reserved and quite well-rounded. Box to box for me is definitely a position which you need to have in a narrow system. I think is so important as well. For this one, we might actually tweak this a little bit. We might actually have him on... or do we? I don't really want him to stay wider because he is obviously, you know, a box-to-box. I don't want him getting caught too lacking in the midfield areas. We're going to tell him to tackle harder on this player. Why not? Roman playmaker. Now, this is where I want him to move into channels. He doesn't need to get further forward too much. Shorter passing is fine for that one as well. We're going to leave that. Attacking or advanced playmaker. Now this guy, get further forward, roam from position, move from channels. I want him to be a handful. I want him to be a pain to defend. Obviously, that is going to be Nkunku in that position. Deep line forward again, more of the unselfish striker. Seems fine to me. Hold up the ball, perfect. Nothing too much has to be played about with there. And we want one selfish striker, so he can literally just be the goal man. And that is going to be how I'm going to go in to the first sort of game. So we're going to filter by best 11. And the team is good, guys. I'm going to be honest. The team's good already. We've got Galashi, Klosterman, Simakan, Orban, Angelino, Shalaya in the midfield, Olmo, Lima, and Kunku, Silva, Werner. The bench could do with a little bit of improvement. Obviously, we've still got Guardio and Sabosloy, actually, who, again, are fantastic players. But in terms of the actual budget, I don't think we're going to be blessed. 17 million. If we can round it up to actually 18, 19 million. So we might see if we can bring someone in. We will, in fact, definitely try and bring someone in. Possibly, well, this could be one of the positions, actually. We have got a backup right back. Raum, again, is a fantastic left back. I like how all this is laid out as well. Obviously, this is going to look slightly different to what you're used to seeing in my videos because we get to have an actual skin. But we are going to just play it as it is for now, and then we're going to get used to it as we go. But overall, a very, very good team. I might look to bring in possible... We've got good centre-backs, to be honest. We've got Diallo on loan as well. Galashi's more than good enough for the first season. Strikers, possibly look to bring in a striker. Obviously, we haven't got the best options in terms of backup. Nkunku, Sabosloy's great depth there. Possibly a midfielder as well. So I'm going to go into the transfer market. I'll do a little bit of digging and see who we can bring in for around 19 million. So I think it's only right we actually do show this side as well. And this is going to be the scouting side of things. Obviously, I do want to make sure you guys get to see everything. So obviously, we're going to go for a little bit of the squad planner, possibly this episode, if not the next episode. But one thing I'm going to point out is how good this is, because it shows you all your players in that position. And then you can decide whether you need to possibly strengthen that area or whether it's fine. And we're actually going to use this now to see the options that we do have. So obviously, goalkeepers. Well, goalkeepers, Galashi's good enough to start. The backup goalkeepers aren't the best, unfortunately. The right-back position, obviously, I don't really class Lima as a right-back. We've obviously got Klosterman, Simic and Henriks can all play there. The defenders, specifically ball-playing defenders, we've got Guardiol and Simican. Again, on this side, we've got Warban, Diallo, Halastenberg, Klosterman. So, to be honest, along the back line, also at left-back, we've really got good options. Midfield, again, is really well covered in terms of the DM position. This position as well, the box-to-box, I really like how this is laid out. It looks really good. Loads of detail has clearly gone into this. And in this position here, also, again, very well-rounded, as well as this one. The only positions we're slightly lacking in are going to be the striker position. So we might see if we can pick up a cheeky striker. But in my opinion, this individual squad planner is such a big addition to the game because it makes it so much easier to see, oh, I need to strengthen that position. Do I need to strengthen that position? You can simply click and it will show you absolutely everything inside of one click. So very, very good there. In terms of the scouting then, this is going to be, it looks so much better, so much more modern. Obviously, even the additions of just the transfer window being open. But this looks really nice how it's laid out down here. Obviously, we're going to set up the recruitment team as well. As you can see, we are going to leave the... Or do we take control? For the first season, I'm happy to let them take control because I'm obviously going to have a rough idea who I want to sign as striker. And this is going to be about actual gameplay I want to show you guys. So... I'm going to come, let's see what we do if we do in knowledge. So this is going to be who they actually do scout us. So we are going to go through these, and I'm pretty sure you can actually just go to scout our players like you can in the last game. And you can go, if you want to do it basic as you want, you can, I imagine, go to quick search. Obviously, you can go to attackers there, or you can simply just do this and go to sort of, you know, role, and you can pick the role you want. So in our case, it would be an advanced forward, and we can see who we've got. Ian Nacho's not actually a bad player, or Daka as well. Some great options here, and it just looks a lot better, a lot cleaner. And obviously, we are going to get a lot more in detail in this as we go on. But obviously, the game's just come out. I want to make sure you guys have got content to see, so I'm going to show you as much detail as I can. And then as we go on to the series, there's going to be even more and more broken down. Funny enough, before we actually even get a chance to announce who we might have signed, I'm not going to ruin it for you guys just yet. We actually are not forced, that sounds badly, but we're going to be going into our first game. Obviously, Angelino can't play, so Ram's going to be stepping in. We're going to be against Damstar in a friendly, so should be a game we should be looking to win. Obviously, this is the first game we're going to be playing, and it is going to be just a test. We are going to be using the best players because we do want to sort of, you know, actually get to grips with the game and things like that. Okay, we are going to have a very annoying bench here, so let's remove some of these players. Obviously, this is very simple to do. We can simply just remove. We've got quite a few players that can't actually play because obviously they're out on loan, or, you know, I believe holiday, injuries, etc., etc. So you can submit team. 10, that is completely fine. We don't plan on making subs, to be honest. I'm hoping we can go here and get some type of results. Now, we are going to tweak some of the settings because I have got a very loud game sound in my ear right now. So let's just pause that for a second. We're going to turn the sound off. I don't really have the sound on too much. We're going to go with the key highlights. We're going to play them around about like that. Have replays on for now. Why not? Let's have the replays on. Obviously, this looks very similar to what you're used to seeing. Nothing too much. Obviously, you see down there, this is a beta version, so little tweaks will happen as well. But everything, again, looks pretty similar to what we're used to seeing. But it's just sort of customized, made to make a little bit more modern, in my opinion. Obviously, any more shouts? Exactly the same shouts. Obviously, you can change all the instructions as you're used to seeing. We didn't go over the tactic, actually. Let's go over the tactic right now. So this part of it. So obviously, it's going to be a press tactic, fairly wide with the width, overlap left and right, play out of defence. Passing directness is going to be set to shorter, higher tempo, mixed crosses, in transition, counter press, counter, distribute to the centre backs and the full backs, and take short kicks. Out of possession is going to be a standard defensive line, a high press line of engagement, and trap inside, because this, again, asks the team to set a press and trap designed to funnel the ball into central areas, which exactly is where we want to be playing, and more often on the press. So that is how it's going to line up. But let's get into this game and sort of see exactly what we're about. Let's cancel that. We don't want to make any changes, and let's just see. Hopefully it does show. That is actually moving very, very slowly. Let's speed that up a little bit because we don't want to be here all day, do we? But do let me know. Obviously, this is going to be the first episode. If you guys do want to see different camera angles, etc., etc. But for me, I like seeing from this camera angle. In my opinion, it's just the best one. But we're going to leave it as it is for now. Obviously, this is going to be... It's going to be a work in progress because we do need to obviously pick up where we leave. If we have a bad game, we can improve, tweak the system as we go. Olmo's already picked up a knock. We're not going to risk it. We'll bring on Sabosoli right from the rib. And we're just going to see how we can. I'm going to encourage the lads a little bit because it's quite negative at the moment. It's going to be them with a set piece, actually, which we possibly can clear. They're back in over the top. I do want to see some highlights out of this because we have got a good team on paper. If you look at the team we've got, obviously we've got Galashi. They're on us again here, like a rash. And it's going to be 1-0. Not the best start. Obviously, this is purely going to be. This is going to be a replay, right? Yeah, skip. Okay, we'll skip the replays. This is a game which we should be winning. Obviously, we've had tons of the ball, so hopefully we can actually make something of this. A ball in, goes out. Was quite poor, actually, to be honest with you. There's the press coming in, though. A very strange ball coming over. Hopefully we can press it again. He should be there. It's going to be Ram on the left-hand side. A fullback I'm very familiar with, into Orban, back across into Klosterman, and I don't know what that is. I don't know why he's playing like that at all. The ball's going to be put into the central area, round with the press, into Silva, into Werner, who puts it just over. But a little positive spell there, a little positive spell. Obviously, this is going to be a work in progress, so we are going to try and tweak things as we go. So we're going to go into the dressing room now, and we are going to tweak about with the tactic, because obviously we just want to try and create something that is going to work very, very well. So something I want to see there is possibly turn this off, take the work the ball into the box off as well, and possibly be a little bit more expressive. Just get some shots on goal, because we are dominating the game, and that is something which I think we can take advantage of. So we're going to keep it like that for now. Play out of defence, higher tempo, pass directness is set to shorter, no work the ball into the box. We'll keep the players on at the moment. No one's really shattered. So let's just see what we can do. Obviously, we can go attacking as well, and hopefully we can turn this around, because possession, we're absolutely dominating. We're at 68% of the ball, man. I mean, absolutely dominating the team. Conrad Lima switches off there. He's won it back, though. Werner needs to run in behind. Into Werner. It's over. It's over. The finishing. The finishing could come back to kill us this game. Obviously, I'm not going to be too annoyed if this does go against us this game, but I would like to see a goal at least. We're going to demand a little bit more from the players. Possibly even go attacking, because I do feel like we can still get something from this game. Going to bring on Haidara as well, just a little bit more energy in that midfield as well. And possibly, we'll leave it like that for now. Like I said, we have got good players, but the bench isn't filled with some of the best ones, unfortunately. But this is a learning curve at the end of the day. We've had 70% of the ball, so it's that side of things we're more than good enough with. And we've actually had quite a few shots. The XG isn't in our favour, though. So for the last bit of the game, I'm actually going to try and just go standard with the directness. I don't know why this keeps resetting. Is this my assistant manager, I think, doing this? I think this is my assistant that keeps doing this. So that is something I'm going to have to look into, because I definitely turned that work the ball into the box off. So that is something we definitely are going to look into, as we are actually going to pick up, I think, our first loss into the save. So not the best start by any means of the imagination, but definitely something going on there with the manager changing the instructions. So we are going to look into that right now, because that is not the best start. Not a 1-0 loss to damn start, but at least we've had a good chance to sort of set up the squad. I'm not going to tell you who we're bringing in just yet, but we've had a good look around the menus and stuff like that. But that is going to be it for episode 1 of the Leipzig beta save. Obviously, this one was more about setting up the save, actually loading up the game, setting up the team, building a tactic, which obviously we do need to work on, clearly. But obviously, we also do need to get used to how things work and stuff like that, because, you know, there are changes in this game compared to the other one. So I'm going to take a little bit of time now to look. I just wanted to upload a video for you guys so you know that this is going to be active and you can get a video on the second day of the game coming out. I hope you guys have enjoyed episode 1. Please smash the like button below if you're excited to see the rest of this series out for the beta, and please leave a comment below of what save you're doing in your beta. And that is going to be it for me today, guys, and I'll see you in the next one.